So this one's called Time on the Water, and here's the deal. In the martial arts world, you'd have a guy and you'd grapple them, and they're a skilled person, and man, things are just going right for them. They're catching this, they're catching that, things are just going right. The other guy can't seem to make anything happen. He's not catching this, he's not getting the next move. And I would always tell him it's like watching people fish. The one guy, same boat, same fishing pole, same bait, same everything. One guy's catching fish like crazy, the other guy isn't catching anything. What's the difference? The difference is the time on the water, the time spent doing it, because the more you engage with anything, whether it be fishing, writing, carpentry, whatever it is, the more time you spend on the water, proverbially as that guy's a fisherman does, you pick up so many imperceptible things that you may not even be aware that you're doing yourself. And it's all these tiny little nuanced things that aren't even really visible to most people that's making the difference between catching the fish and not catching the fish. So what happens is the guy goes out, he spends a little bit of time on the water. I didn't catch any fish. Must be I don't have the right boat. He gets a new boat. Goes out again, spends a little bit of time, doesn't catch anything. Well, it must be my pole is no good. Gets better pole. Gets different bait. Meanwhile, the guy's sitting in the same boat, basic equipment, catching fish after fish. Now, I had this happen to me. I had a house at one time with a pond that had fish in it, and I remember my wife's brother, my brother-in-law Jake, coming up, and I'm catching nothing, and he's catching fish after fish. Now, is it just luck? No, the guy was a fisherman. He's a hunter and a fisherman. I've fished a half a dozen times probably in my whole life, and most of those, maybe a few more, but it was as a kid. I'm not a fisherman. I'm not committed to that. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm throwing it in. I think I'm doing what he's doing. He's on one side of the pond. I'm on the other side. He's catching fish. Well, that must be the fish all up on this end. Hey, Jake, let's switch sides. He goes to the other end. I'm up on the end with the fish. I'm catching no fish. He's catching fish again. Time on the water. So when you have a commitment to your art, to your passion, to whatever it is in your life, the more time you spend with it, the more these imperceptible skills will come up and become part of you, and you won't even know yourself maybe what you're doing. But don't get into the place of pointing the finger and just blaming somebody. Well, if I had a better this, well, he had this, or he. What you don't have is the commitment to be committed to a particular task long enough so that you become part of it almost. So think about that in your life, the things that aren't going as well. Have you really put the time in, or you just kind of played with it a little bit? Put enough time in and the results will follow.